Welcome, bowling fans, to Strikers, the bowling champions. This is episode 2 of season 2 with none other than Mark Buffa, your host, alongside Doan Mose, here calling the action in the booth for you guys. We had a great week last week, Doan, with 4 fierce competitors. Now we got 4 more competitors today.
Mark, last week, to beat last week is going to be impossible. The matches were absolutely phenomenal. I was so excited. I didn't sleep for 7 days straight. I was so excited to get back here and watch again. It was excellent. Great competition. Phenomenal. The winners would start, or the matches start out where you'd swear that one player was going to win, and then all of a sudden it switched, and the player behind came back going. It was an exceptional.
Yeah, so we had some great matches last week with a 290 game, 279 game. Let's see what these players have. So today, in the format, we have a 32-man bracket. We are now in the second part of the bracket with Marc-Andre Gagné versus Steve Bouchard today. Steve on his first appearance on TV. Steve has only been bowling for 3 years, Don.
Wow.
Yeah, he's only been bowling for 3 years, and this is one of his greatest accomplishments now, being on TV.
Throwing a snap lock.
Great shot to start the match.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sherlock.
Sherlock, there you go. But yeah, talking to Steve, I've seen him here and there in tournaments a little bit, and getting a chance to talk to him. I didn't know that he only been bowling for 3 years now, and that he's now in his first appearance on TV, and he's stoked to be here and looking forward to seeing some good things out of him.
Well, he's pretty stylistically sound. I mean, if you watch him line up now, watch him pull his right shoulder forward a little bit. So that means that he's going to play very parallel. He's closing the lane down. So he's definitely a square player, keeps the ball in play up the lane. So we talked about it the first week. We talked about the bowlers like to play the shim or the hold area. That's definitely his strong suit.
Yep. So here, see, great shot here on the spare, going a little bit straighter, still hooking it a bit, getting the spare nice and easy. We got Marc-Andre, first time we see Marc-Andre here on the lanes. Again, another straighter player going in. Oh, gets the 10 out.
Oh, gets a sweet little tap there.
Marc-Andre is very involved in the Quebec bowling circuit. He used to run a bunch of tournaments, so fierce competitor himself, and looking forward to seeing some great things from him.
Yeah. Both players are very similar the way they're attacking the lanes. Their ball rolls a little bit different, but they both have similar identical swings, similar identical planes. So they're matched up pretty tight together. It's gonna be interesting to see when the lanes break down who's gonna come out ahead in this.
Yep. So Marc-Andre was a bit flat on the first shot. Same thing here. It seems like the ball's not going through the pins the right way, Don.
It seems like the ball's just overskid the mid lane a little bit. It's getting the back. It's having a hard time slowing down enough to make the corner.
Right. Still great shot, though. Both great pocket hits, able to get to the pocket very efficiently and easily. Either that or he's got to increase his side roll a little bit just to get around it a little bit more.
Yep.
So early lead possibly for Steve here going into the second frame. So clean after 2 for Marc-Andre. Great start. Again, like we were saying in the past week, you know, you want to come out in these matches and stay clean, especially in the early parts of the match.
You want to get ahead as quick as possible. As they say, you want to run and hide. You want to get going.
Oh, great shot. We see some
shot.
early emotion here from Steve. You know, first time here on TV.
He's got a little killer instinct in him,
That's
doesn't
it,
he?
man, yeah.
I'm telling you.
Sticking his tongue out there on the shot and giving her the business there on the first shot here in the second frame.
That was
on that left lane.
like Michael Jordan shooting 3 throws.
That's it.
Sticking the tongue out.
Easy, no problem. So we see here if he's going to make the adjustment off of the first shot, Steve. Again, very impressed with you know, Steve. 3 years into bowling and making his first appearance on TV. Big double with the fist pump. So Steve, out of the Donnacona region, just outside of Quebec City, he's already got a couple perfect games to his resume. 220 average. He'd love to be on the PBA one day. His favorite bowler is Belmo, so
but
that's where he gets the killer instinct from, right? We see a big move here from Marc-Andre on the left lane. See, he got away a little bit away from it a little bit, and just feeding it to the dry a little bit, giving it the business at the bottom of the swing.
It looks like he changed his axis rotation a little bit. Now the ball's a little more axis rotation.
We
the
see
ball's coming off spot a little bit harder.
It looks like someone kicked it down lane.
Yeah. You know how it is. The first shot you throw on TV is a little nerve-wracking. You know, if you can get it off your hand and go in the right direction, that's a bonus.
For sure. Like I said, we see this guy week in, week out in tournaments, so he's not going anywhere. That's another good shot. Yeah, buddy.
Yep.
Likes it off his hand. You know, all these bowlers, you know, we got some of the cream of the crop here in the top 32. And these guys, when they throw it good, they know it, and you could see it straight through their body language. And we, as the announcers, we could see it straight off their hand if they liked it or not, too. So, getting ready to see a lot of motion from these guys going forward.
Laid it down nice and smooth.
Ooh, a little bit fast.
Yep.
A little bit fast on that shot. He's got a little bit of a following here. Some people are cheering for him in the back. That we can hear them through our headsets.
Yeah, the camera can't see it, but off to our right up here, there's a line of people out there. It's pretty deep. There's a lot of people here watching the event. It's very impressive.
Yep. So here's the first attempt on TV for the 10 pin. Let's see what Steve can do here. He's not doing like most of the other players and making a ball change. He's taking his hand out of it, just a little bit less hook, and able to get the ball to roll more end over end to make the easy spare.
That's impressive. That's very hard to do.
Yeah, and for somebody with only 3 years experience too, right?
Yeah, that's a high skill level right there.
So I know he's worked a lot with a lot of coaches here in the Quebec City area, so, you know, hats off to them, you know, because getting a bowler onto TV after 3 seasons is a pretty great feat. So pretty tight match after 4 frames, Doan. Still a little bit light in the pocket. Almost getting a log there on the 10. But I don't know. I think either he needs to move a little bit further right, get maybe soften up in the speed a little bit, just get something to face up to the pocket a little bit more. But definitely, you know, good start to the match. Again, for somebody that's brand new to TV, coming out with the first 5 frames being clean. Well, clean.
And only 3 years experience. That's he's doing just fine. He's holding his own.
Oh, it's got a hook. All right.
Wow.
Gets the spare. All right, Marc-Andre can take a commanding lead here with a strike in the 5th.
Now, if you were sitting and if you're Marc-Andre walking up, would you feel like, hey, with your opponent having 2 spares and you have a double up, do you feel like that they gave you an opening?
Well, you have the upper hand, right?
Exactly.
Like I would think, like right now, if he strikes on this shot, you're giving him the business. Yeah, right now he's in the driver's seat and he knows it. He's walking back, a little bit of a cocky attitude, but that's what you got to do. Great shot here. We see, yeah, and Marc-Andre's worked a lot on his game. We see that he's got a more traditional style where he's more up and at him. But if you notice that he's also worked on his upper body alignment. We'll see in the next previews over the next replays. Excuse me. That he's started to work on letting that left hand lead and getting his shoulders open so he's able to get around the ball a little bit more.
Yeah, you can see he's got a little bit of the contemporary tip to his game.
Yeah, great shot there.
Nice shot.
Great shot. And like we said, you know, like he's getting a little bit more axis rotation out of it so the ball's able to pick up and give a little bit more kick down lane. So Steve's got an uphill battle now because with a 3-bagger going into the 7th frame 4-bagger going into the 7th frame for Marc-Andre. He's, like I said, uphill battle. This is a must-strike situation for Steve.
Well,
that's a better shot. Ooh, 10 pin again. He made the move, though, on that shot.
He did.
He made the move, went a little bit further right.
Needs to make a little more. You know, the ball's just not picking up quite at the right part.
Yeah, we see that the ball just over-skied maybe about a foot or two and didn't get a chance to come up to the pocket as well as we would have liked.
You know, and right now the nerves got to be going, so you're trying to, you know, gas a little bit. So it's very easy to you know, to get a little out of control now.
Yeah, and when you're getting into 10-pin trouble in a 1-game match,
yeah,
you know, the time flies. Time flies, that's for sure.
He needs to sit down. He needs to basically address himself, get himself to calm a little bit, and execute a little bit smoother shot instead of trying to rifle a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, like he needs to, basically what I would tell him if I was in his corner, I would say, dude, just roll the ball.
Yeah.
Because he needs the ball to get into a roll. He got that one in.
Yeah.
He Ooh, high flush. Yeah. So he decided to move a little bit left off of that, get high flush. So we see here, yep, right off his hand, he posts the shot, he gets it left. He probably moved about 2 and 2 left on that shot. High flush, 10 in the pin.
Cherie.
Yeah, well, like we were saying last week, you got to play the shim in this house.
Absolutely.
You know, if you want to miss somewhere, you got to miss left.
The bowler, either the bowler misses away or they miss in, but you got to have room for error. If you don't have room for error, the chance of winning is pretty astounding.
Yeah. Great shot by Marc-Andre. Dude, he's on autopilot right now. He's got the right ball in his hand. He's matched up. He doesn't seem phased. You know, he's throwing the shots. He's executing. He's posting the shots. which is already great. And you just look at his demeanor. He's like, I got this.
He's very confident. Yeah, he's very confident. You can tell.
So we're going to see some big scores. We saw last week, we saw 290, 279. When these guys get matched up, they're going to get hard to beat.
Certainly.
You know?
They have good skill level.
For sure, yeah. Well, they're not here because, you know.
It's not by accident.
Yeah, that's it. We got the top 32 bowlers from across the province here. Here's another good shot. He steps out of it.
Pitch.
I think he thought that was in a little bit, but still a great shot. Here we see another great shot by Marc-Andre. Even though he has that wrist brace, he's still able to snap the wrist at the bottom, and he's worked a lot on his game over the last couple of years.
Pick up.
10 pin again.
Yeah.
He's got to do something. We got to try to communicate mentally to him that he needs to maybe make a ball change, go to something a little bit softer, or maybe keep his hand behind it a little bit more because he's trying to flick it a bit sideways.
Yeah, because you can see in the replay right there where the ball's getting to the back end, it's trying to pick up some roll, but it just doesn't have enough room. It can't get the ball to spin up quick enough.
Doesn't have enough juice in the back end to make it up to the pocket.
So what that means in a way, if you look at the lane and being 60 feet, when he's bowling right now, the lane in his eyes seems like it's about 55 feet. It just isn't quite long enough to get the ball to slow down enough.
Right. So we've got about a 50-pin lead going in to the 9th for Marc-Andre. You know, going in line for a 280 game, which again would be another great highlight because we've had, you know, crazy scores for each of the matches over the last couple weeks.
There, you see where the ball picked up some more roll. It just went a hair long, but the ball was starting to slow down some.
Yeah, so he slowed down his speed on that one. A little bit of a better shot. But you know what? He's in the pocket, though, and he's not.
He certainly
you know,
is.
He's 9 spare. He's just 9 sparing him to death. And when your opponent's got, you know, strike spare 6-bagger, that's not really what you want, right?
No.
But
it's unfortunate. I mean, he's actually throwing a very good game.
Yeah.
And he's just lost his carry a little bit. And carry, when you're looking at carrying corner pins or a single pin, I mean, you're looking at just inches at times, you know, and so he's executing a very good game.
Yeah, but Marc-Andre's in the driver's seat right now. The game's pretty much over going into the 9th. You know, what I would like to see maybe out of Marc-Andre is, like, you know, I'm going to have a break because of the next match. Let me try a different piece. Let me try another piece of equipment. It looks like he moved a little bit further left on that one, just to see if he had a little bit of miss room. Because it looks, just watch this shot. It looks like he feeds a little bit more to the right.
You know, it's interesting as you said that, Mark, because when I used to send my players on to the championship pairs, I always made sure that we had a game plan. This is your A ball. If the lanes go one way, you get this. Lane goes the other way, this is the other selection. But you had 3 balls to choose from.
Yep.
When you get to this point, as far as in the telecast, there is so much going on the player's mind, you need to make the simple choice. So you got to lay it out and make it very easy. You can't be complicated. It's got to be very simple.
Yeah, for sure. And listen, he practiced on the practice pair, practiced on the TV pair. And, you know, going into the 10th frame now with a
commanding lead.
Sorry, my math isn't too quick. The first match. But still, great shot. Like, again, like we said, like right now he's got nothing to lose. Game's over.
Yeah.
Try something.
Absolutely.
Try something.
Actually, on the other side, both players should try something now.
Correct.
I mean, use this as a learning tool and, you know, learn from it. Don't look at this as a loss. Just look at this as an education.
Correct.
Because when you walk out of here, there's always something to pick up on that you can improve on. So next time you get back here, you have a step ahead.
Definitely. Yeah, you're taking the opportunity of the fact that you're here.
Yes.
Well, take full advantage of it, even though you didn't get the W.
Absolutely.
Great shot again by Marc-Andre.
Well, his look is good.
His look is good. But again, just like last week's show, we've had guys that come in here and they just got a good look. So when you're coming on this TV pair, if anybody else is watching that's pulling in the upcoming weeks, you know, put your striking shoes on.
Oh yeah, that's why it's called strikers.
That's but that's it. But you know, like, just going back through my years bowling internationally, there's certain patterns, that are conducive to spare shooting, and there's certain patterns that are conducive to high strike percentage. So
he got that one in.
He got
Look
that one
at
in.
that.
Oh,
He hit the super shim. Oh my God.
The super
he got that any deeper, he would have drowned, I'm telling you.
Trips out the 4-pin. But going back to what I was saying, some patterns are conducive to higher scores, and you need to be able to have the opportunity to throw a 6-bagger, 8-bagger, or something in a game at times.
Yes.
Great shot by Steve. A little bit too late to the party, but still, you know, if he can finish off here with a 218 game, it's still very presentable, first experience, and, you know, he just ran into a chainsaw.
He had a good showing.
You know?
There's no reason to walk away ashamed. He had a nice showing.
Yeah. Hey, there's another nickname for you, the chainsaw.
There we go, the chainsaw. And we have Scuba Steve up there. He got in so deep.
Scuba Steve. Yeah, good stuff. All right. Well, you know, great showing by Steve here. Let's see if he makes the adjustment again. Come off here on a good note.
There you go. Look at it pick up.
Yeah, that picked up nicely in the mid-part lane.
Yes, it did.
Slowed down his ball speed a little bit, able to get, and we see that he kind of torques the wrist a little bit more. So I think he was trying to give it a little extra sauce on that one.
Certainly was.
Give it the hot sauce, the Szechuan sauce.
That's the padlock to unlock the snap lock.
There you go.
Or a Sherlock.
Sherlock.
Or the lock. And that whole lock line is a really good line of bowling balls.
Yeah, and for guys like Steve, which are, you know, lower rev rate, more speed
He
dominant.
fell off balance. Oh!
Yeah. Let's leave the 4-pin. Great showing by Steve. Congratulations, Steve. First time on TV. 217 versus 261 with Marc-Andre getting the win. Not too shabby for Steve. First time on TV, but running into the chainsaw, buzzsaw, whatever we want to call
Steve.
it. Marc-Andre with the win, 261 to 217. Again, like we said, over the last couple of the last couple of matches, we've had guys with tremendous looks on the lane, and these guys are going to be hard to beat. So next match that we have, we've got Roger Langlais versus Jimmy Dugrenier, both their first time on TV.
And they're very stylistically different.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to watch them too much on the practice pair, but, you know, I'll tell you what, just being your first time on TV is never easy.
Oh, it never is.
It's never easy, and these guys are going to have to be battling the nerves.
Yep.
Right? So I'm not too worried about that. So in the next game now, we've got Roger Langlais versus Jimmy Dugrenier. So a couple of newbies to TV here.
Here we go.
This is actually my first time seeing Jimmy. I haven't seen him so far, you know, so great to have him. Roger Langlais also first time on TV. However, Roger bowls 4 times a week, you know, so.
I've actually seen him at some of our demos.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. So we're going to see a little bit more of a style, power player style from Jimmy. Crossing right around the 4th arrow. A lot deeper than a lot of the bowlers that we've seen over the last couple of matches.
Absolutely.
So he's a good board. He's a good arrow left of even the youngster Maxim that we had last week, who's got a
very powerful hand.
Very powerful hand, you know. So let's see if that's going to play into his favor. He's throwing something that's a little bit weaker also, so we'll get to see what happens there. So leaving the 3-6, easy spare conversion for Jimmy.
His roll is very unique. If you look at it, his ball actually has a good amount of tilt, but it's end over end, which is a very unique roll. Back in the States, for a bowler who had that type of roll is very famous. His name is Brad Snell.
Okay.
And Brad was a left-hander, but he had that unique roll, and it had when
Speaking
he matched,
of lefty.
Yep. And when he matched up, he matched up. So I mean, it could be feast or famine.
Yep. So here with Roger, first look at Roger. So again, speed dominant bowler, likes to play the outside part of the lane. A little bit weaker hand. We see that the hand was at the top of the equator at the release point. Just missed that one at the bottom of the swing. Didn't get the ball back up to the pocket.
That's the nerves coming in.
Yeah, for sure. He's got to get the shakes off in the first couple of shots here. And just make better shots going into the upcoming frames. Easy, not an easy spare though.
No, not at all.
So covers up nicely for the spare. So both players clean through one. That's like we keep saying, you want to come out here and you don't want to have an early open frame. However, if you want to open a frame, it's in the first frame.
Absolutely. I always felt whenever I made a telecast that if I could just get through the first frame without tripping and falling over, I'm in good shape.
Yep. So Roger is very, crosses over, almost gets the lucky strike there, leaving the 4-pin. But Roger was telling me that, you know, this is his second time trying for TV, and he's made it.
Really?
So 2 for 1 is a pretty good ratio.
That's not bad.
But the other thing, too, is he was also telling me, like, I like asking people, too, because I myself have mentors in life.
Sure.
And there's people I aspire to beat or be or, you know, just surpass. And he was talking about some of the guys that we'll see later on in some of these telecasts, like David Simard and Jonathan Roy. And he was saying, I wish I could get, you know, down into the bracket and meet these guys in upcoming matches, you know. So hopefully he's going to be able to live that dream.
That'd be nice to see.
Yeah. So here we see routine spare on the 4-pin. for a lefty. Probably not something he shoots too often. But anyways, so 2 spares for Roger in the second frame. Going on to Jimmy here. First time that we see him here on the left lane. Oh, great shot by Jimmy. You know, he got the shakes out of the first one.
So
that was a much better shot than his first frame up.
Well, it looked like his roll changed there. Looking a little more side rolling than the first frame. Or the first, so.
Well, again, you know, I'll chalk that one up to experience. You know, he was probably nervous on the first one.
Certainly.
Probably timing was off. You know, yada yada, and that's it. So much better shot on the second one, and he should be learning on every shot. And again, you know, young player, first time on TV. You know, just soak it up, right?
Absolutely.
Oh, got that one in a bit.
Ooh,
high
it
flush.
shimmed up.
High flush. So that's good. He knew it was bad off his hand. You know, he fell off the shot. We'll see here his body language is like, oh boy, I'm in trouble. Ball gets down to the lane, comes roaring back, splits the 8-9. Pretty good miss, if you ask me.
Looks like a little better shot and stayed out. Nerves.
Yeah, well, yes and no. I think now after 3 frames, I think it's strategy too. You know, he crosses over on the second frame. On this shot here, it doesn't even come close to hitting the pocket again. He either needs to ball up, go to something a little bit stronger cover, stronger core.
Or he needs to move way left and get friction to get that ball to slow
That's
down
it.
faster.
But I don't think he's already far left enough, though, and I don't think that's the move.
It definitely isn't. I definitely see something with some surface to it. I'd stay away from a pearl, getting something solid. I'd even get something asymmetrical because his roll is a little bit softer. He needs a little extra help.
Exactly. And we saw that last week, too, with Pierre, right? He was throwing something with a little bit more grit on it.
Yep.
And with his rev rate being lower, he was able to bring that ball back up to the pocket. But we see this now with Roger, and he's using something with a shiny surface.
Yep.
Right? So like we were saying, maybe something with a bit more grit to the surface would definitely help him out. So we see he moved left on that shot.
Yep.
He moved left on that shot, and the ball went through the face. So, again, like I was saying, I don't know if moving left was the move for him.
Now it was an option, though.
It was an option.
Yeah.
But now he's got to check that one off his list.
Yeah. Now you need to make a ball change. You need to get something that picks up.
Yeah.
You
He's
know,
got someone in his corner that he's going to be able to talk to, so hopefully they talk that over after this next shot.
Because, you know, if you look at the way he's playing the lanes, obviously he likes to play the hold area of the shim. But if you get too far to the dry, the ball can actually pick up too quick and get through it. So he needs to get
back-to-back open frames here, Doan.
Yeah, it's poor guy.
Yeah, this is not something that is desirable for him to start the match here. Spare, open is...
That's tough in your opponent striking.
Yeah, and the opponent striking, like you said, yeah. So he's on a double. So right now, if I'm in Jimmy's shoes right now, I'm pedal to the metal, and I'm making this shot count.
Absolutely.
Make it count.
This shot, it's almost like the biggest shot of the game right now.
Yeah, this is where
you can put a lot of pressure on him.
Yeah, he's already got a commanding lead going into the 4th frame, but you don't want to lose that lead, right? So gets lucky here, goes light, leaves the 2-4. But, you know,
that 10 was the ready to stand.
You know what, though? Like we were saying, if he shows up on this shot and strikes, he takes a commanding lead. Although he does have a good lead going into the 5th, but he's still got, if he would have struck on that shot, and he knew that.
Yes.
And I think that, you know, chalk that one up to experience, that he knows that he has a golden opportunity to take an early 40-plus pin lead, you know, going into the 6th frame. But still, being clean after 4 with a double, he's still got a 30-pin lead going into the 5th frame.
Yeah, that's a lot. The strike here really would capitalize. And then at this point, his opponent needs to start striking.
Correct.
It's no more pick and spares. It needs to be feast or famine. It needs to be a ball change. You need to change your angle.
But again, if I'm in Jimmy's shoes right now, my opponent hasn't hit the pocket yet in 4 frames. So I'm feeling pretty confident, not breathing as heavy anymore, making some quality shots. So that was a great shot off his hand, and he knows it too.
Yep.
Yeah.
We see that ball come on the back end and hit the hold area and sort of stop up.
Yep.
He's got some room.
Yep. So that was a good shot off his hand, a lot better than the last shot, and he knew it. So that's what he needs to do to capitalize. But again, he's in the driver's seat now because he has the pocket. He has the pocket. Roger needs to be in the pocket on this shot. Absolutely. Oh, and he delivers. Makes the move, though, and he made the move, and he made the adjustment, made a great shot, and plaques the 7-pin.
It was close.
Yeah. But yeah, he made a better shot on that one. and just unfortunate to leave the 7-pin. But what do you want? You know, it's
well,
he's struggling there, and just for him to hit the pocket on that shot was already a great move there.
Yeah, that was pretty remarkable, considering as bad as he's struggling.
Yep. So routine spear here for Roger. He needs it because, you know, three opens would have been a disastrous start for him. But still, great spare on that one. Again, must-strike situation here for Roger on the whole way out.
Yeah, if he has another ball,
the whole way out.
Yeah, this is time to go ahead and make that adjustment, because right now he's trying to fit something that's having a hard time matching up.
Yeah.
You know, it's an old saying that, you know, if you throw a couple shots and your ball doesn't read, either you need to change lines or you need to go change equipment. Wow, he got that way out.
He got that one out. He made a move to the left, and tried to get the ball to face up a little bit sooner, and unfortunately still with the 7-pin break on that one.
That messenger is like the shopping cart parking lot, just gradually rolls over.
But, you know, I think we'll go back to the first topic we had. It's one of those moves where, you know, maybe going to something that's a little bit more aggressive would kick out those corner pins, because the ball's not driving through the pocket.
Yeah, it would definitely change his angle.
Yep.
Absolutely.
So routine spare there on the 7-pin. Jimmy can take a huge lead here in the 7th, definitely. But, you know, we see here with a 40-pin deficit going into the 6th frame for Roger, for the 7th frame, excuse me. But Jimmy needs to make a good shot on this left lane. He's been struggling on the left lane a little bit. Oh, he likes that one off his hand. Log it!
Come on!
Log it! Oh, almost gets the 10 to come down at the last second. He liked that one off his hand, though. I think he made an adjustment and just threw a way better shot. So here we see in the power player, high backswing, hand rotating around the ball, being able to get some axis rotation. That's what makes the ball come up the corner and attack the pocket nicely.
Yeah, when you get your axis to rotate back, it basically, the bowling is a sport of hydroplaning. You got to have the ball hydroplane. Oh my God.
Oh boy. Misses the 10th pin, makes a ball change, but still throwing reactive at his spare, and I don't think he killed it enough.
No,
I think he still kind of caught it a little bit.
He just missed it by an inch, multiple inches.
Yep. Well, you know, that narrows the lead now down to 23 pins if Roger strikes in the next frame. So a little bit of a light at the end of the tunnel for Roger.
There is.
Yeah.
Now, unless something disastrous happens, I mean, it's just, you know, staying clean is going to be the factor.
Yeah. Yeah, so he's just got to stay clean here.
God, he cut that one short.
Yeah, he cut that one short, goes high, leaves the 3-6. And that's one of those things, like, you don't want to miss a 10-pin on TV. That's a guarantee, that's a given. And we saw him miss spare in last week's episode as well. And that's just something that you do not want to do. And right now, when he went up on that shot zone, what happened was he was still thinking about that miss.
He certainly was.
Yeah.
Now, what's going through his mind now?
Make the spare. And he covers up nicely.
Yes, he does.
Yeah,
It's a very good executed shot. Now,
and one other thing I can tell people back home is, even if you do a poorly executed shot or you flag an easy spare, you have to settle down and say, okay, forget it and just focus on the present. And that's what Roger's got to do here with this strike here.
Oh, he showed up.
He shows up because he, like we said, he needed to make a good shot to get back in it because his opponent gave him light of day, and he came in and he pured it. So he narrows the lead now down to, he narrows the lead down to possibly only 3 pins now.
Yeah. With a strike here.
Yeah.
That's a whole new match.
Whole new game. So you see, folks, like we've had over the last couple of matches, we've had some turn of events halfway through the game. That looks good off his head. Yeah, baby! Big double for Roger. Big double for Roger. He's back in the game. He's back in the game. He's back in the game. This is what we want to see, baby. I like it. I like it a lot. Great shot here by Roger. Narrows the lead down for Jimmy. Jimmy's got to show up here. He's got to show up and get a strike.
Now, the maturity levels would be interesting to see. I mean, is it going to affect him with his opponent throwing a double?
Yep. Oh, that looked good off his hand.
Oh, that hung out there.
Goes light. He misses it right a little bit. My angle isn't great here on the left lane.
I thought when he came out of his hand dumped out of it, and that ball rolled very end over end when it came off the spot. It just tumbled.
Yeah. We see his body language on that replay that he's wishing for it to come back. So this isn't a gimme to 2-4-5.
No.
He's got to. Oh, he's looking at it. That's got to get a chance there. There we go. Covers it all with the ball, and that's the way to do it.
That takes a lot of courage.
Yep. I would have thrown it straight on.
I would have.
Yeah. But still covers up nicely. Still maintains the lead.
We have a match.
Yeah, we have a match. Yeah, if they both strike out, we have a tie game.
We have a good match.
Yeah, we have a good match. So we have a potential tie here if they all strike out.
Would that be the first tie of the tournament?
Last year we did not have a tie.
Aha.
You are correct.
Oh,
he was wishing for that one to come back too.
He got that way out there.
He's got to go to something that's going to spike a little bit more in the back end, but I honestly think he's too far left.
I agree. He's way left. What happens is he gets so far left and you're angled to the front and makes the pattern go longer. His ball's fighting to make the hook, and then when he cuts it short, you can look at the ball tries to cross Brooklyn. He's too deep in the lane.
Yep. But he's got to either try to give it a bit more business, or he's got to.
This is not an easy spare by any means.
For sure. He covers beautifully. Very similar angle than what he's got, but because he's got the pin behind with the 8-pin, he really needed to hook at it. So Roger's got a chance here to win the match.
He needs a strike.
Well, yeah, because he can shut him out.
Yes.
Oh, that's got to go.
Oh, no, what a break.
Yep.
Jesus, poor guy.
Well, poor execution on that one.
Yeah.
Crosses over. Could have gotten the lucky Brooklyn strike on that one, but unfortunately leaves the 5-7. Which is not something that you leave commonly, so I would be surprised if this is something that Roger will pick up.
You know how it is. Mark, how many times have you left a 5-10 and you look at that, it's like, that's not even a common angle for you.
Correct.
So it's very difficult.
So he just picks up the one there.
Smart move.
Yeah.
Just get your pins.
But still, now,
he's 20 down.
Yeah, he's 20 down, and, he could have taken a commanding lead there with a good shot in the 9th.
He needs to strike out, and then he needs to, he needs some help.
He needs some help.
Yep.
Definitely. So Roger can finish out with 179 with a strike here. With 3 strikes in the 10th, excuse me.
That's coming back.
That's got to go.
Oh, came in light, shook him up. Slap that 10 out.
But that's pretty much done. What does Jimmy need? What do we have here?
He just basically, if he strikes out, his opponent just needs a fill, basically.
So this again, must-strike situation to at least apply a little bit of pressure for the opponent to fill the frame.
Got that out.
He just didn't match up the whole game, Don.
No.
He didn't match up the whole game. He got a couple good shots in there late in the game.
He just needed more ball.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. He needed something a little bit stronger to be able to penetrate into pocket. One of the things that I like to teach my students is at the elite level, especially when you're getting into like these situations where you're bowling against the top 32 best players in the province, you need to learn how to watch your ball go through the pins.
I agree.
And a lot of bowlers back home, what they like to see is they tell themselves, I threw a good shot if I hit my target.
That's not it. Or I threw a good shot if I hit the 1-3. It doesn't matter how you hit the 1-3. You got to see how the ball goes to the pins. If it's penetrating too hard, the chance of starting to leave corners or back row is very common.
Correct. And one of the other things is not just penetration, but where does your ball fall into the pit?
Absolutely.
So like you said, a lot of players, they'll look at their target at the arrows or wherever on the lane. They'll see if they hit that. And then if they hit the 1-3, then they'll just, all of a sudden, there's thumbs up, I made a good shot.
That's not it.
But you didn't strike.
Exactly.
So like you can throw a poor shot, but have the right combination of ball, layout, positioning on the lane, and still strike with a poor shot because you have the right matchup. And in today's game, matching up is more important than that. So
how about that?
Yeah, but still.
Wow.
Unbelievable. But great match by both players. Jimmy coming out with the win.
It came right down to the wire.
Yeah, it came right down to the wire. Jimmy just needed to knock down pins because Roger didn't finish out the match. But again, both players struggling on these patterns. If I was talking in between matches, and maybe I'll go and give a little shout out to Jimmy, I'll be like, Jimmy, dude, you got to move right.
You got to move right.
You got to move right. If you're going to keep that ball in your hand, fine, just move right, or go with something that's going to give you a little bit more hot sauce in the back part of the lane to be able to get the corner out.
Yeah, but I still think that the as deep as he is, my concern is if he cuts one short with something that hooks when he gets it out.
Yeah.
Who knows how far it's going to go across the lane.
Yeah.
See, he needs to move right. He needs to, like they say back when they're farming, he needs to move a whole back section.
Yeah, because if Marc-Andre is going to give him any chance, he's got to make the move. Because the matchup that he has now, Marc-Andre's got a 240 look. with blindfolded. He's got a 240 look, and Jimmy just shot $160.
Yeah,
you know, so like you gotta.
You got to make a move.
You got to make a move.
Yeah, you have to go for chance. And
yeah, and he didn't execute poorly. I just think that he doesn't have the right matchup right now.
I agree.
Yeah.
And, you know, and I'm sure Mark went on over, look at this. He's throwing a different ball.
Yeah, exactly. Like we were saying, he's looking for a plan B.
Yep.
Now, in practice, he's trying something different,
Yep.
and he's talking it over right now with some people, but he's just looking for an out, just in case.
Exactly.
You know, FYI, whatever happens, but, you know, at least I got a second out. Because you never know what can happen in a one-game match.
And especially, like, once again, the lights are on there, the oil's organic, it's migrating, it's moving. The players are, now he came on after 20 shots.
Yep.
They're going to be different.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, even though both players were not in that same part of the lane, which is another advantage because Marc-Andre's playing a little bit more of a straighter trajectory.
Yep.
And you know, that's you could say that plays in his favor too because Jimmy's so far left that they're not even in the same
district.
Ballpark.
Yeah.
They're not in the same area code. You know, so.
Absolutely. Well, we're all in Quebec, and he's still in Montreal.
There you go. But yeah, still, you know, I'm looking forward to seeing this match. You know, if I'm in Marc-Andre's shoes right now, I know I've got the cat's meow in terms of looks right now from the 4 competitors that we're seeing this week. He's just got to go there, execute close frames, and he's going to come out with the victory.
Well, that last shot there, he moved further left, and he closed the lane. And he closed the lane down more.
Yeah.
The ball just sort of faded the back in and just tumbled and rolled in.
Yeah,
so
but that's what you got to do. And in these little moments in between matches where you get a couple of shots of practice, and he's not getting much. You got 1 shot on each lane.
Yeah.
There. So he's fishing right now, and he's trying some stuff, but he knows where he's going to stand.
He looks pretty confident.
Yeah, no, he's looking good. So hopefully here we see a big move here from Jimmy because he needs to make a big move against a great competitor like Marc-Andre Gagné, who finished off the last game with a victory with a 248 game. You know, just awesome. So here we see Jimmy is opting because no, Marc-Andre is the high seed, and Marc-Andre wants Jimmy to start on the right lane. So we'll see here. Jimmy's making a ball change. He's not throwing the same ball he threw in the first game, but still too far left.
Yep.
Too far left.
Way too far left.
He balled up, though. He went to something with a little bit stronger cover, a little bit stronger core, but I still think he's too far left. He's at least 5 boards too far left at the arrows.
His angle's way too sharp.
Yeah. Yeah, so he's got to move. This is a routine spare with the washout, but still not an easy feat by any means. So you're going to see him try to hook it into the left side of the 1-2. Yeah. So early open frame for Jimmy. So let's see if Marc-Andre can apply some pressure. He's already making the ball change. He's not throwing the same ball he threw in the first game, which is very surprising to me.
Yeah, well, he's actually playing quite a bit deeper also.
Yep.
He made a move. The right shoulder's forward a little bit, so he's closing the lane down. Definitely responded harder off the drive.
Yep, definitely. I'm not too sure about that, though. I'm not too sure about it. He had a phenomenal look in the first game, and watching him throw that same ball in practice, he went to something a little bit stronger, and I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
What I find unique when he came over here.
Hey, that's why he's there and I'm here, right?
Well, that's still, but he came walking over, and the ball that he shot the first game with, he did not even bring over.
No, it's there in the rack.
Well, I mean, but he didn't bring over and throw one single shot.
No, he didn't throw it in practice. You're right.
Not one single shot. He's actually having a little more loft in the lane now compared to the first game. First game, he laid it down the lane smoother. Now he's creating the loft, trying to create that ball to want to stand up a little bit. So he's forcing the ball to try to pick up.
You know what he's doing now? He's showing off. He's showing his skills. He's got the skills, man. It's the chainsaw mag. Marc-Andre Gagné, the chainsaw, baby. He's moved left. He's moved at least 5 left with his feet, threw something a little bit stronger, and that's it. So pretty interesting to see that move. I would have not made that move, honestly. Great shot there by Jimmy. So I'm in accordance with the ball change, but he made a great move here in the lane. He threw a way better shot. That's probably the best shot he's thrown all day.
Agree. You know, it's easy to sit back here and question him, but when you're out there, you know your limits, and you get a feel that something's taking place.
Yep.
And you know, there's times where some of the touring players I'll come on down and ask him, did you make a move? Yeah. What'd you do? Well, it was 7-3. Well, why do you come up with that crazy number? I mean, you're striking. You move 7-3.
Yeah.
You know, so it's just unique. And
that's left off his hand.
That's from playing deep. Once we talked about earlier, when you play in too deep, you have so much distance down the lane. And what you're looking at is the distance from the end of the pattern to the pins. At that point right there, there's so many feet. And if you have a lot of room there, that's when you got to open them up and get the ball to lose energy to burn up. But when you start playing in that deep and the pattern short like this, so what happens, the ball comes out the end of the pattern. Now it has all this room that it has to go through to create motion. So you got to 14 feet of hook, and the ball doesn't have enough room.
So here we see not an easy spare, and he still crosses over onto the left side, doesn't pick up the 9-pin on the replay. This is an early gimme for Marc-Andre. He's got to capitalize on this and really take advantage of the fact that his opponent opened twice on the right lane.
Yeah, that's
a good shot off his hand. Ooh, 10-pin.
Yep.
Great shot. He knows it, but still, sigh of relief that it's only a 10-pin. Great shot. I love his balance at the line.
He does have a great foundation. That is definitely one asset of his game, which is really good.
Yeah, and that's one of the things I'd be afraid of in going to something stronger like he did in this game is really the ball not facing up proper because it's burning up its energy. But, open frame in the third for Marc-Andre. Surprising, very surprising. So we only have a 20-pin game. This could have been a huge deficit for Jimmy if Marc-Andre would have closed that third frame. But, still 20 pins. I'll take a 20-pin lead any day.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely, especially to look like that. I mean, you hit the pocket 3 times.
Yeah, especially early in the game. 20-pin lead in 3 frames is...
That's pretty solid.
It's pretty solid.
Yeah. Grab that one.
All right. Light shaker.
Back again.
Light shaker.
Slapped him around.
Much better shot. It seems like he moved a little bit further left, gave it the business, and the ball comes back roaring off the back part of the pattern. But still, when you leave, 4 pins on the deck, I don't know. You got to change a little bit of something.
I hear some bowlers, they talk about they want to hit him thin like that and keep pins rolling around. Personally, I'd rather get the ball to flush up.
So Jimmy's got 2 flush strikes on the left lane. He's confident in the left lane. And the right lane, I just think on the last shot that he threw on the right lane, he's just trying to help it.
Yep.
That's why he tugged it on the last shot.
So talking to the players that came off, they said the right lane's hooking more. So what's happening now is he's trying to create angle for the ball not to hook early. He actually needs to make the move right.
Yeah, but what he's got to do here is he's got to throw it good.
Yes.
He's got to just make it come off his hand clean. That's a way better shot.
Much better.
Yeah. Ooh, just shakes out the 5 on that one. But way better shot
5
on that one. So that's a huge double. That's a momentum booster for him, but that right lane's giving him a lot of trouble. So we see there open shoulders, big cupped wrist, nice recovery at the release point, high rev rate, but still, I think he's got to make a move right. Like
that was a slap 5. That could have stood right up.
Yeah.
Key shot.
Ooh, that was a way better shot. We see that all
execution was premium in that shot.
Great execution, 10 back. We see, watch this. It's going to do a vortex when the ball hits the pins and just suck everything into the pit. And that's what you want to see. Look at the ball just cross, take care of the 8-9, penetrate right through. And the 10-pin was, even the 10-pin fell off its chair on that one. So great shot there. Still early lead for Marc-Andre. Going into the 6th frame. 20-pin lead going into the 6th. Let's see if he makes the move here in the right lane. Lofts it a little bit more side rotation.
Yeah, it looks like he lost his balance in that one.
Yeah, I don't think he liked it off his hand, but it was still, it was a better shot. Now he's really got to close this one. So what we'll see here, look at the ball going through the pins. And we'll see the 6 wrap around the 10. When you see the 6 wrap around the 10 like that, your ball skid a little bit too long. So the ball is sliding a little bit too much.
Oh my God, almost 2 in a row.
Just skins the 10-pin. Wow, he got away with murder on that one.
I'm telling you, if he had thrown any softer, the wind wouldn't have blown it over.
But that's, he's having a sigh of relief there. He's probably taking it a little bit in stride on that one. But still, a great shot. He's in the pocket. I'll go back to the start of the game. I don't think he should have changed ball from his last match.
I'm telling you, I have to agree with you. He must have saw something out there that we didn't.
Come on!
Oh, it was close.
Tough break. Almost leaves a 7-10 there on the left lane. That's his good lane, and he threw it good. I think he got a little bit further right on that one.
Lily got a little firm.
Yeah, it looks like he was a little firm, too. He kind of popped out of it at the foul line. We see Yep.
You know, and that's important. I mean, you know, you watch the guys throw the shot and they're raising out of it. That changes your level of release.
Yeah,
you
for
know,
sure.
because if you pop out of it too soon, you dump it in lane one direction. If you pop out of it too late, you hit up on it.
Yep.
And that changes all dynamics. And it is so important to develop a solid foundation. Imagine trying to hit a golf ball, and as you're getting ready to swing down, you jump in the air. How consistent are you going to be?
True.
It's impossible.
Yeah, one of the things that was key for me when I was bowling was all the coaches I worked with, they were like, keep a nice flat spot going into the swing.
Yes.
It's because basically what you want to do is you don't want your foundation, your hips, your knees, all that stuff to jump up, because that makes you lose your balance, that makes you jimmy on, not jimmy, but like it makes you kind of yahoo on the shot a little bit at the foul line. And that's exactly what we see here. We'll see that he kind of sticks a little bit at the foul line. His knee stiffens up, and his whole body just raises out of the shot. Well, what does that do? Is his hand is still in the ball, so he's basically lifting a little bit more, and we see that ball just go bonkers on the back part of the lane.
Yep. Torques right through it.
Yeah, torques right through it. You know, easy spare there on the six spin, excuse me, and yeah, still a little bit of a lead here for Marc-Andre. Still sitting easy, but still he's got to show up and make some good shots. So with a strike here, we have a potential 19-pin lead for Marc-Andre. Great shot. Ooh. See the ball.
That ball never got in a roll.
That ball never got into a roll.
It pushed.
And what we'll see here is he lets it go, and he's like, that's got a hook. And that got inside.
You can look right there. The ball is not slowing down enough to go ahead. And that that thing was paralyzed.
Yeah.
It needs mouth-to-mouth. It fell in the gutter so soft.
For real. But one of the things that we want to see is when you're looking at ball reaction is you want your ball, when it changes direction, people think that the ball accelerates, but in reality, it decelerates. Yeah. So what you'll see a lot of the top players say is they'll even say sometimes, I couldn't get the ball to slow down.
Exactly.
And what they're trying to say is either that they threw it through the break point, so too much speed, or they're not using something that's strong enough, because if you use something that's stronger, it's going to get into a roll sooner, hence making the ball slow down sooner.
Exactly.
Oh, so we see him move a little bit further left.
That one picked up. That one picked up. That was an excellent shot.
Yeah, that was a great shot, great move. He moved left, fed it to the right a little bit more, gave it a little bit more axis rotation. You know, he gave it some hot sauce there at the bottom of the swing. And we see this thing. You see how that ball, when it changed direction, like you actually saw it, like...
Change, and then it started slowing down. It started actually picking up revs, which is slowing down.
Yeah. No, that was outside target.
Yeah, he threw that with his shoulder. He was trying to create ball speed.
Yeah.
Ball speed doesn't come from your swing. Ball speed comes from your legs. Bowling is actually a big muscle sport. Bowling is not a small muscle sport.
Yep.
So it's all developing leverage on the way up.
Yep. But again, going back to what we said over the last couple of weeks is that this pattern is very conducive to your miss room has to be left.
Yep.
And right now, Jimmy is too far left on the lane, in my opinion, and his miss room right is now becoming hang.
Yeah.
And that's bad. You know, if anything, it's a
detriment.
Yeah, it's a detriment. He's got to execute really well in the spot that he's in. He's got a better ball in his hand than the first game, though. We'll give him that.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
He's actually not as far off as it seems. With today's game, back in the days prior to present, if you were off a little bit, you were bucket, 10-pin, bucket, you know, sort of searching there to small. Now if you're off a little bit, it looks like you're completely out of the same building, and it's just a small minor move. A few board move in today's game is not really a big move. It's sort of minor. So it's just everything is amplified over the years.
Yep. So routine spare here for Jimmy.
Get over.
Ooh, flags in the 9th frame. Foundation frame, 9th frame. This is not where you want to make these mistakes. So Marc-Andre could take a commanding lead here just by cleaning up the frames.
If Marc feels he wins.
Yeah.
It's pretty much done.
Yeah. Marc-Andre's got 145 in the 7th, working on a strike in the 8th. With a strike here, he can pace for 220, so he's definitely in the driver's seat here.
That one he laid down sooner. Oh, he's so late. So.
Great shot by Marc-Andre. Stones the 8-pin. Stones the 8-pin. Look at this, folks. Just comes roaring off of the back end of the pattern.
Boy, you talk about a bad break. The ball hooked at the right part of the lane, slowed down perfectly, and it tipped the 5 over and pushed it straight back.
Yeah, you know, we're using brand new pins on this pair, and that'll definitely show, in my opinion, too. So, but maybe it was a bad rack. Should have taken a re-rack on that one, but still makes the spare. Still in a you know.
Turn out the lights. The party's over.
Commanding lead. He's got to keep it on the lane here to win the match. So Marc-Andre coming off with the win here in the second match. You know, as we said in previous weeks, you know, we've had great competitors come in, but you have to have a good look. You can't come here, bowl against the top 32 bowlers of the province, and not have good ball reaction. You won't beat them, because if it only comes down to execution, that's not going to happen. So we see him here. Marc-Andre's making a little bit of a mess here at the end of the game, but really doesn't matter, because Jimmy can only strike out for $182.
I think he actually moved right that time and tried to firm up a little bit. And he just
tried something.
Yeah.
But still, definitely, you know, great showing here from Marc-Andre. Let's see if he can give us a little bit of show at the end. Oh, almost makes the spare.
You know, and this isn't no knock to the Jimmy. I mean, he has 10 frames to bowl.
Yep.
Now, look where he qualified in the bracket. So he bowled very well to get here.
No, definitely. You don't get to TV if you're bowling poorly. So,
no, and this is no knock against him.
Yeah, hats off to the kid, you know, coming off with a win.
There you go. That's
One
a nice
win to his portfolio on TV. I'll take that any day of the week. But definitely chalk it up to experience.
Yep, he's a walk away from here, and he's going to develop a wealth of knowledge, because he's going to get an idea. He'll ask people some questions. And, you know, now he builds on his resume. So the next time he comes on out, now he has some experience. He'll be able to make some other adjustments. He's a very versed kid, throws the ball very well.
Yep.
You know,
looks like he's in pretty good shape, too.
Yep, up-and-coming talent.
Yeah, and he's bowling in the center, which is, he's bowling out of the Kingpin complex out in Sherbrooke, and you know he's got great surrounding. The Sherbrooke area in Quebec is a hotbed of great bowlers. We've got players from the Estrie area like David Simard. We've got Jonathan Roy. We've got a bunch of other guys that are in that area. Olivier Herbera.
David who?
Yeah, right. So he's able to learn from those guys and get better, and that's why he's here today, because he's able to rub shoulders with those guys. So we see Marc-Andre with the W with $189 to 172. So congratulations to Marc-Andre on the win on today's episode, and he will go on to next week to face the winner of between Mathieu Baudouin, Raphaël Duhamel-Roy, Pascal Lacaze, and Roger Arsenault. So we've got a bunch of great players,
yeah, there's
some
no
top seed
there.
players, and we got some big names with Mathieu Baudouin and also Pascal Lacaze, who is a great up-and-coming player in the region of Quebec. And we've also got Roger Arsenault, who's got a plethora of experience. He's got over 30 years of experience. I've known him my whole life. Great competitor.
This is another week I'm not going to get no sleep. I'm excited to come back, Mark.
That's it. Let's do it. So, again, thanks, everyone, for tuning in. Strikers, the bowling champions. You're here with Mark Buffa and Don Mose. Thanks again for tuning in. We've got the great competitors coming into next week, so definitely stay tuned. Don, what are you expecting for the next week?
Strikes.
Strikes. Let's do it. Thank you.
Congrats to Patrick Lortie, big winner of our autographed t-shirt. Don't miss Strikers Champions of Bowling next Sunday at 7 p.m.